Inside Story Uganda. Real source of political update.
Bakola wano seminar nibaita ambassador wa Australia nengendayo I sneak it into the meeting
wasindika
nemba government mwaba muri ba Uganda temwasoma what you call police harassment. These are professional hazards. How do you cover a riot? Ngo inachi kamera kinene bwe kiti ngo tadeko press. Do they want to cover what they bakola bagalo be covering?
Mulimu nabagenda ababulizo wakati mu riot. What do you have to say? Iyi mu operation. What do you have to say ngo mtu afuatia gazi
agabichi? We now have a new term. We call it embedment. When soldiers from America and other diverse countries are going for war, bambala uniforms za maji bagenda mu military drills, and what they write is cleared by the military. We call it embedment. You are embedded. Yenga tunafuna yote ya gas na buso muzungu nti ngola mu State House sebo nti your excellence ambassador high commissioner, you tell me where we can buy tear gas that bends when it is facing a journalist. I'm going to convince the president and buy one.
You tell
me where we can buy
journalist
that divert
Umuka kunara ba journalist
the
Lion and the Masai Warrior Tamale wamwogera kwa no wiki wede no yogera ku Kenya ndi ku page ya nkaga mu munana
this one is a failure to explain
nkaga munana wayogera ku Kenya tuli mu kitabo kino ekitabo kyo wandika kibaita The Lion and the Masai Warrior kitegeza ki mu Uganda
nti ndabagamba nti wali wazize mu byofuzi bya Uganda azo kunya kulaka empologo mu buyenza yetati amasai wali yatati
empologoma yefuga
ale kanawe muzama katabuko
ndiko page yankaga munana
babulira abantu befuula page ne yefuula nga bakubiza tia gasa gula wo
page 68
batu kanga kulalira twajja nabiri
how the Ugenya story leads to the prevailing situations in Uganda lwa yagera ku Ugenya eya musanje okay kakati the Ugenya scenario applies to the situation in which people like Kano Kiza Beske Vidandi Sali Professor Gilbert Bukenya Mama Mbabazi and Lieutenant General Henry Tumukunde try to succeed Museveni. At that time Museveni was very popular.
Waliwo mabega Ugenya kingdom kubaka wakati ya umaso
gonti umpadiwa
mumaso ate wano mumaso
ngenze maso
yogenze maso nika tinza maso ngakadde
okuze
story of Ugenya myaka nkaka mweta nchayimira nti bono bwala ku minister ndikana
the story of Ugenya
kana kawala campus mu UCC yitabato
5 years ago 5 years ago I published a book, a Luganda book titled Musanje nga alwana ne mukodomi we Lwembaawo. In English translation, the title of the book tells how King Musanje struggled to save his kingdom from his son-in-law, Lwembaawo. I narrated this story that happened in this fictitious kingdom called Ugenya, and I wrote, Ugenya kingdom, like other kingdoms of the time and the inhabitants of Ugenya, were good people who were also very hardworking. Unlike other kingdoms that had suffered constant succession battles whenever the reigning king died, Ugenya had a popularly laid down succession process. This Ugenya kingdom was more stable than any other kingdom in the region at the time. Ugenya had a very strong army. And because it had fought very many battles with its neighbors from Ugatanza kingdom. In addition, Ugenya had a very good climate and fertile soils which favored food production and kept the people secure from droughts and famine, and constantly ravaged other kingdoms, This was the source of envy from Ugenya's neighbor. Ugenya was also endowed with natural resources and natural parks that preserved animal species and birds, as well as saving wildlife from extinction. This was easy because the people of Ugenya had adopted species of animals and birds as their totems, and therefore had to jealously protect them. Finally, Ugenya had a big lake from which its people used to catch fish and food for export and surplus to the neighboring communities. In my submission, I elaborated that Ugenya had a clear succession process where power rotated within members of the royal family. I also reported that King Musanje was not the only king of Ugenya, but was a celebrated warrior who had led Ugenya army on many expeditions during his youth. Because Musanje took power, Ugenya was rife with constant inter-kingdom wars as other kingdoms attempted to annex it or install puppet kings. For example, a puppet king called Obuto had taken over the kingdom and almost wiped out members of the Ugenya royal family. This is a liberation battle that earned King Musanje popularity amongst the Ugenya people. Musanje almost single-handedly spearheaded the war that removed Obuto from power, restored the kingdom, and all the elders later installed him as king. This is why Ugenya had enjoyed a peace and stability under Musanje's leadership. Among the priorities he has identified is the importance of a very strong army. Like any young man, the elders pressurized him to get married and have a family so that he can bring forth a successor. After settling in, Musanje married a very beautiful girl called Jalia. But Jalia produced daughters which annoyed the elders. Musanje was forced to marry a second wife who produced 2 sets of twins. King Musanje was equally excited and given his background, he named one of his male twins Mukenzi, one who looks far and detects the enemy from a distance. Mukenzi yomukubalongo However, because it took long for Musanje to get a pair of twins and 2 sons, by the time Musanje came of age, the daughters were ready for marriage. One of the daughters married a young man called Rwembawo, but Rwembawo came at a time when King Musanje had not produced a son. Therefore, Rwembawo took advantage of this vacuum and played very many roles, some of which were a preserve of the members of the royal family. Rwembawo's conduct attracted the attention of the royal family and the public. His roles and proximity to King Musanje became common talk in bars and in public places. King Musanje defended him by saying that Rwembawo had no royal blood. There was no way that he could succeed his father-in-law. He also agreed that Rwembawo attracted much attention because Prince Mukenzi was still a young man. However, as the saying goes, where there is smoke, there is always a fire. Rwembawo was on a mission. He created an air of confidence and fear. Many people inside and outside the palace started fearing to mention the name of Rwembawo in public and resorted to whispers. Rwembawo infiltrated all the sectors of the kingdom. He started an organization teaching young people the objectives of the kingdom and how to protect Ugenya from future enemies. Through his organization, he stressed the need for a modern society where people could be free to choose their leaders in a democratic fashion. On a number of occasions, Musanje was alerted by the elders about the young man's schemes but dismissed it as envy, as his son-in-law was mobilizing the youth and imparting modern ideas into society. Whoever stood in the young man's way would be sacked immediately. Rwembawo never hesitated to invoke his mother-in-law's name, Jalia, every time he wanted to instill fear in his rivals. To consolidate his influence and defeat his enemies, Rwembawo recruited a shrewd young man from his group, which comprised of majority of people from poor families with no roots in the Ugenya kingdom of politics. The notorious group was composed of, among others, Kajiko, Sungura, and Kobushegu. The one who spreads poison. Emerging from nowhere, the groups dominated the kingdom politics. They had no respect for the elders. Using their proximity to both Queen Jalia and King Musanje, they replaced all the people who were loyal to Musanje. Sungura and Kobushegu were experts in fabricating stories against Musanje's loyalists in order to force him to sack them. On the other hand, Kajiko was a notorious thief who targeted other people's businesses and the women. At times, they are women. This group isolated King Musanje from the population as well as his former loyalists. It is this isolation that weakened Musanje's administration capacity. On many occasions, his decisions depended on the fake reports from Sungura and Kobushegu, who were experts in malice. Armed with the influence and the power, Rwembawo started his plans to become a king. Remember, he has no royal blood and an outsider. Secondly, there was no way son-in-law could succeed his father-in-law. However, since the group had isolated Musanje from the elders and his former allies in the liberation struggle, these factors blinded Rwembao to harbor succession ambitions to disregard Ugenya's kingdom. Among those who Rwembao targeted was Mirandira. Mirandira was a stubborn man, but very clever. You could dismiss him as a fool or a drunkard, but he was King Msanje's Mudingidi, the one who plays music for the king. He also used to crack jokes, and he was a very good commentator. Mirandira's speech was always characterized by laughter. Rwembao group targeted him because of his proximity to King Msanje. At the time, Mirandira was banned from singing on public functions. He was also bundled out of the palace. However, the ban on addressing the rallies and singing in public functions was strongly resisted by the Ugenya people. Although some organizers of public gatherings yielded to the pressure from Kajiko, who threatened to withdraw their licenses, others continued to offer Mirandira permission to sing at their functions. One of those who opposed Kajiko's directives was Pastor Joseph Serwanja. Pastor Joseph Serwanja. What was interesting is that these functions where Mirandira was permitted to sing were flocked by so many people. For example, Serwanja's church attracted many people and attracted many people, and it became very popular for marrying young couples. Mirandira's attacks on Rwembawo's group also earned him support and respect among the population. Upon realizing that Rwembawo's group had weakened Musanje's kingdom, Utaganza started reviving territorial claims on Ugenya kingdom. The constant hostilities between Ugenya and Ugatanza awoke King Musanje from his slumber. He ordered Mukenzi to start mobilizing for war in case Ugatanza claims graduated from just mere threat to full-scale confrontation. In his report to his father, Mukenzi revealed that the kingdom could not manage a full-scale war with Utaganza. Mukenzi explained that many experienced generals had been sacked by Rwembawo. The mood in the population was so alarming. The people, including the elders, had become effectively isolated from Musanje by this Rwembao group. Mukenzi reported that Kajiko had stolen from the poor people to build his own empire. The group had invaded the marketplaces, abattoirs, fisheries, and there were reports of extracting human organs for sale to cannibals. Mukenzi also revealed Rwembao's succession plan. It was after this briefing that King Musanje ordered Mukenzi to restore order in the kingdom. Musanje also ordered the immediate arrest of Rwembao's group, and Kajiko, Sungora, Koushegu, and other members of their group were arrested. Frog marched through their capital city of Kampala to their very dreaded Ruzinga prison. Peace prevailed in King Musanje's kingdom, and his public ratings rose to unprecedented levels. Musanje ruled for a short time and abdicated to create vacuum for Crown Prince Mukenzi. This is how King Musanje saved his kingdom from his ambitious son-in-law Rwembao. How chapter jibaziko? Buno bwakabaka esimu yenu. Buno eno kingdom kati wanogambira nti how the story relates to the prevailing situation in Uganda.
Temuga yamu.
Nedandika kati story ya Ugenya.
Nabawandikira obwakabaka.
Bifaanana.
Nabaga nti Katikiro mumpi mu mulembe omufere.
Obwakabaka bwe bundagu.
Obundagu.
Okona kasoma.
Unono obwakabaka bulala batatembwa. Kabaka bamwitanga Mutatembwa. Nenga Mutatembwa alina omusajja mumpi Katikiro. Katikiro yateekawo ekibinja ekyabatumisa ababizi kuva. Nga balina kampuni yaabwe mwe babbira bagiyita buli lunaku bubbi. CBRB muleka kubiwayo. Omanyi mwe bwe mukola. CBRB
anti buli lunaku bubbi osobola okufunza
okutuusa abatatembwa ne baaga nti nedda omusajja mumpi ayitiridde ababizi ng'alina musajja we baamuyitanga kyewakutte mabeere ga mukazi ne bwakadde wategagwa ekyo nkitutte mabeere ga mukazi kyewakutte waliyo makambuuzi waliyo makambuuzi bali mabere ga mukazi kye wakutte
mwamwani nakawala kabata nabuuza nako kali omu kali mubunda oba kali mubutatembwa
kali mugunde mukana katabo akagunde Katikiro Mayengo
ne yali Katikiro Mayengo yali mbwa kabaka ki owe yali mubunda gu
Katikiro Mayengo anti kabaka bamitanga Mutembi Katikiro yali wa Mutembi ne abasajja abatatembwa bebanyiga bafubutula ababizi basoka kujjawo kibiina ky'ababizi babagoba emisinde ne babatuusa ku kizimbe ekizimbe kinene bakiyitanga Masenge olw'ebisenge ebinene ebyakirimu ne bakikuba ku ttaka kyaliko ekifaananyi ky'empologoma ne kyeba kijjayo eyanyumya ebyaliwo yalaba ng'omusajja atadde omugwa mu kifaananyi ky'egwologoma kye baawona nga bagenda bakikulula ng'abantu bakoye ababizi babayitanga ababizi nga bakeera kufukula bafukula butatembwa nga mutatembwa tabagambako
ababizi be baali abakozi ba Kabaka Mutembi
anti bateekawo ekibiina buli lunaku bubbi nga kikulya kyewakutte mabeere ga mukazi
ekibiina nga bakita buli lunaku bubbi
waliwo mpangulula ye nga agatayina kimulema kupangula mpangulula makambuzi kyewakutte mabeere ga mukazi
kati nga buli lunaku
mumpi
nga babba ki buli lunaku babbanga ki ebitagwanga
batabalanga gundi butatembwa paka abantu ne baganda twefungize ababizi bayitiridde
akakyejo lukumu meka
mwe tumwasoma history
oyo Samson
kakati kugante Obwakabaka tebuliyo obwo bwempandiiseeko kati mwe
ekibagamba njagala kulaba kimu
kati ejja kusoma how related nagamba gundi omusajja bali bamwitani kati yafa yali principal judge Ntabooba Ntabooba yagenda mu semina n'agamba nti judges are paid peanut. I'm getting 5 million per month. I have diabetes. What should I do? Kati nempandika article nti if we take Ntabooba's argument, Ntabooba is inciting the army to riot. Nakasoma kumwacha.
Wawandika muliki?
Bakaitanga voice. Can I talk to Tamale Mirundi? I'm the one speaking. Yes. Do you understand what I said? Yes, Mr. Justice. Yeah, now, I want you to restructure that strand. Muga, I cannot. Okay, we shall see. Muga, before you shout, how long does it take a person to become a lawyer in order to become a judge? And how long does it? Have you ever gone to the university to find out how long do we take to become a journalist? I've written about presidents, I've written about okay, we should not argue. Bandi awo regulo. Mwenze sidi ya kumpabira. Bandi awo regulo ngalokutana akubi. The judge wants an apology, or we go ahead.
Intention to sue.
Don't waste time. Sijja kuchichusa kwa na chimu. Your client
mwesu galukutana nga bingiride mwawa
yero
yawa Ntabooba.
Your problem is that this man is reading his enemies in my story. This is an innocent story. Now going ahead na abireta nimuganda nti Ntabooba ye principal judge yagaba abalamuzi kati njagala muzungu kubajja kuleeta anansiba ekyokubi awo perusal cases records. Whenever you take cases to Ntabooba, you win them. Explain why.
Ogamba Rukutana.
Hey. Rukutana cool down. I used to know you when you were still poor. Rukutana yabiranga wakatende sempe. Katende sempe baeja ngabavuka abageze makerere. No you mind. Yabiranga wakatende sempe banagenda nge Wakabaka. Ngamayiga nentegebe batuletera soda. Ngatupulaninga. Planning committee nga tutulde.
Ngomplanningira.
Kabaka.
Gutamale Mirundi.
There was a time when we were invited to Sudan to inspect it, to get Bagabagala publicity refugees. Yagenda nani. And they left me there to continue with the functions.
Sabasajja Kabaka Uganda.
Yaliye kumaumi sana. Yaliye kumasa 12.
Sabasajja Kabaka Uganda.
Saba fili bajja nenziruka. bakoze tefe banga egudde bagibbi abantu bababbi bakoze Buganda Development Agency abantu bababbi I ran away. I preserve myself for future deployment. Never know nabategeera. Every 10 years society changes. Kubanga government terms busy. So kati president ya president yake meka. But president bali bameka. When you overstay in power, the system develops political inertia. Chibula mbuli yanga boogera. So the system has collapsed. They are creating a political vacuum. There is no political vacuum. Mwemu nyini mwemu bie. Mubie buli wa mu. Mwanta ndi kububinga muloza nti abantu bajja kuchawa mu 7. Muganda will tell you kitagenda azala bagenzi. When a parent lives longer, he buries his own children. President yaluddeko bonna buli stage ebaddeko mu masangaze nandi kakatabo kangati the crossroad. Nemba kanti crossroad buli tuka ku crossroad Museveni abalaga direction entuufu. Naye waliwo abasigalawo nga babuze. Kateeka ya bidandi bagenda mu change the term limit.
Bidetan.
Mbabazi ya panikinga. Nga samwogereze performance mu 96. 201 yali azze. Nga kati Museveni munafu. Naletawo okutuwaaka abantu bo mu Kampala baagala kukola.
Agikomezaawo.
Fe gavumenti twagikyawadda. Abantu bo mu Central Africans are capitalistic by nature. How do you explain the fact that the Kalamajonga are not fighting for power, but they are cows? Very brave people. Aba Italy, bali bagala okujjawo obunyazi bwente mu 80s. Mweche bakola the Italian missionaries. Verona fathers abayina influence mu Northern Uganda. Bagamba nti buli mukala mojja ajja okujjanjaba mu ddwaliro n'ekiwundu ky'essasi aleete $10 they were paying. They had the money.
Ngabazina.
Why are they not fighting to take a Kampala? Okero twa baleeta ne baddayo. Yes. Kakati kikutegeeza nti the problem nabagamba is not Museveni. The problem people want Museveni to sort you out. Kakati besi yekimukomezaawo nti abantu bali demoralized. Ti bilioni ezagenzi. Ezo bilioni bazibi. Ezo bilioni bazibi.
Abadda kulembera opposition wekiseera ye Bobi Wine.
Anti Bobi Wine gasumba yamukubye.
Gashumba solo kumega Bobi Wine.
Natidde nganda namulabye ku byuma byange mu Semuju nganda. Omusajja yamuyise namugamba nti nopweweddewo nti njagala kati mu mujjeno. Semuju namugamba I can only support you when you join FDC. And the following day besi yinateeka mu engatto.
Semuju nganda wamutiddeko ki?
Yaganye. Semuju nganda yagambye ezisivaayo politics wammwe owa politics muyingiramu. If you want me to support you,
FDC.
Natidde Semuju nganda
bwali
nga mulaba ku byuma byange bwendi. Ate bamukoza lyo okuvuma Kadaga. Bwe bakoze okuvuma Kadaga.
Kati kuluni yaganye.
Yagambye you join us. Kati bano kye bataategedde.
Bobi Wine yaweddewo.
Omusajja ali we Tunisia twali tusamba mupiira na Tunisia. Ne baleeta ambasada wa Tunisia mu Uganda ng'omugenyi omukulu. N'agenda ng'akwata ambazannyi ba Uganda. Yagamba bali nti bano twabakubye edda. Bali kwe tukwatako omutima gukubanga laddu. Kakati Semuju nganda yazzeeyo n'alipootinga.
Ewabesigye.
Nti bano batabuse.
Yingirawo.
Meeting ya Semuju nganda olwawedde.
Besigye kali ku luguudo.
Namugambye okoze bubi. Tubadde tuyina embwa yaffe nga twagikuulamu amannyo naye nga nnene bagitya. Kakati what is going to happen?
Mbwaki.
People are going to abandon Nupu.
Mbwaki gye mwakulamu amanyi.
Nupu. Kati ate Kasumba yagikubye n'agijja wamate bakitegeera.
Mubadde mugina ng'embwa yakulu amanyo.
Kakati what is going to happen?
Tamale
You are strengthening Besigye. Oba abantu bagenda kuggwamu amaanyi. We shall end up with a hideous revolution. Nga tulina abantu bayogera nayo. Kasumba yakoze bubi yanyize n'ayitawo. Bwe bakubbako polisi tokanyuka kyapa kyata. Waliwo omukyala ali mu sero za CPS. Mukyala yali abalanda ne musawo nansi.
Bamusiba.
Ne bamubba ne bamusuula mu gundi. Mu ebintu byonna ne babitwala. The woman goes back to Entebbe n'ategeera yamubbye. The man was stressing Mbale nga n'ebintu ebyabinaaguzeko ne bodaboda. But what is strange, omukazi gwe babbye ne bamubbako buli kintu kyonna ne ssente ne bazibba. Yalina omuntu gwe yalina okusasula ng'ennaku z'omwezi 15 April. Yazzekkeri yalinka kyapa ky'emakerera ettaka lye balitwala. Is inside CPS cells. Banku bidesha makasija genda. I'll continue hitting at the end, exposing you. If the woman is a criminal, how long does it take the police to try and have a for court? I'll continue talking about this case until a person who is responsible enough goes to CPS, because if a person, a Ugandan who has come from Ugundi, where Nasi, yafunye sentences za COVID, if she is arrested, I'm getting recent reports that when Ugandans come here, they are arrested at the airport. Akamutisha bwe bazikala dambu muwereza bensi yesende. Ulijona ne bakwata ne bakuvumbagira.
Atulisa Tamale kati veko mpogo.
So those who are responsible, me I will continue exposing this case. They are confirming the woman. Amasimu geko nabaga mujeko tako tasobola corresponding na bewa. Tulete ba relatives mbajewa.
Ngatenda masimu yogerera.
Muwo mukaze simu zakube. Ne simu nga mwemu nedda egwanga muri se.
Taveko
babesi je mwembo bali simu sajja mwe.
Kale.
Mufukudde wa
namwe Bobi Wine aliazo kuchusa ku bintu kati ate mu mukube nene mu muteka kati na yafu
kugamba njaka kusomera nupu yakolebwa bano nupu kibina kye nale mu kyava mwe nale
mumazemu abantu amanyi
lwaki bo bakiza nabagamba nti when you are disparate, when your canoe capsizes and you see something running very fast, don't think it is a speedboat. It's a crocodile, and the crocodile are not used are not known in rescuing people for safety. When you are disparate and you saw Noop, it was a crocodile. It was a hippo's back. It was not a rock. The only credible thing in Noop is Bobi Wine yabadukako.
Bobi Wine ejivamu.
Bamukubeni gejimuto obusi. Namukubira simu ne mugamba. Naye oloza Museveni yakuba nangante muganda Museveni si yankuba ba mafia.
Bobi Wine akiriza ndi Museveni si yankuba. Bwavuma dictator buli kaseera.
Buyangante Museveni si yankuba. Ba mafia bebankuba.
Tamareka mujje wano.
Sula kasero kabwe bajja kutta. Sula kasero.